All right, welcome back to a very special New Year's Eve live stream here on ClearMode. I'd like to wish everybody a happy new year. And without squirrel ado, let's get into it. So today I want to work primarily with Claude and Cursor. We're going to be experimenting with the Claude-in-Chrome extension. And I want to work on automation. I want to try to reduce some of the tedious tasks I have when, let me make sure we're live. Let's make sure that's not muted. Work on automation. Beautiful. Okay. If you've watched past videos on this channel, you see that I built this repurpose-oss step by step. So look back a few videos, you'll find that it's, I think, let's just pull it up for reference. Let's go to our channel and let's go to videos. So these two, it's a two-part series where I build this automation OS, and then I also incorporate Google Nano Banana Pro in a part 2. I want to automate this further. A quick TLDR is we spin up Claude in the terminal and we have a /generate command. And then we paste in a long form YouTube URL, one of our older videos, and then it will download the transcript, analyze the voice, the tone, create copy for LinkedIn, X, as well as a long form Substack post. And then for the Google Nano Banana Pro integration, it creates media, all a part of this command, all automated for our Substack. Let me give you a quick preview. I generated this one with, I've also incorporated a new skill. That video is coming out shortly, but you'll find here that the images are now even more relevant to the content. And I think just the attention to detail on these generations are way better. So now though, I still have a lot of like manual work involved where I have to copy paste each title, subtitle, body, etc. into Substack to get it working. I want to see if I can automate that. I'm gonna make a long form video on this, but I figured, you know, this live stream is all about testing. So let's try to do it live and see what happens. So let's first do /Chrome. I already have it installed. I already have it enabled. So this is great. I have a video coming out shortly that shows you how to install this from scratch. And we're going to use this as well as some other use cases on how to incorporate it into our workflow. Now, I'm just going to talk to Claude here with my Whisper Flow speech to text. I'd like you to spin up Claude-in-Chrome, the extension, and I want to automate our Substack outputs with our most recent one, Gemini 3 Pro versus Claude Opus 4.5. And I want you to go into Substack, create a new post, copy all of the context in the main post markdown file, make sure it's all formatted properly, right, with the dividers, etc., and then incorporate all of these images onto the post. I want this to be done all autonomously. And this is one tedious task that I personally have to copy paste to accomplish this. I want to see if the extension can do this for me. Also, double check what model we're using for the extension. I think using Sonnet 4.5 should be good enough. All right. And we are just going to vibe here. Let's open up our Chrome. And it's going to open up a new Chrome window here. As you can see, anytime you're working within, you know, a session, it's going to label it here. And then everything within this group, the session has access to. It doesn't have access to your entire browser, just everything in this group. So let me try to kind of break this apart, make this a little bit larger so you can see that on screen. And then let's make this go over here. Okay. as you can see, it's getting to work. It even has a to-do list for us. So it says navigate to Substack and access post editor, create a new post and add title and subtitle, format and paste body contents with dividers, upload and insert hero image at top, diagram 2 or diagram 1, diagram 2, preview post and verify all formatting. Okay, I think it's doing it wrong. Let's see. It's doing a timeline post rather than an actual post. Make sure we're actually creating a new, I guess, page post and not just a timeline post. Yeah, it needs to access the full article. So it discovered it even before. Yeah, I need to access the full article editor, not the quick note. Let me look for the proper way to create a full Substack post. You can see step by step all of its clicks. It's registering here, which is great. I'd love to know if anybody watching the recording, have you used this extension? What are you using it for? What's your likes, your dislikes? Drop a comment below, drop it in chat, let me know. Okay, great. I mean, it's moving along. I love this. It's interesting. It's not starting off with the title, right? It's going subtitle first, but hey, I'm not mad at it. Let's pull this up to the side just to kind of see. So yeah, subtitle is correct. Yeah, one thing I've also learned, it's important not to touch in the window that it's operating. Just leave it, let it run, let it do its thing. But oh man, I'm loving this. This is going to save me so much time. It's like I can automate this, walk away, or Alt-Tab, do something else. And it's going to take away a lot of that tedious copy-paste work for me. And I'm sure this will work for any site, right? LinkedIn, X, whatever. I haven't incorporated Nano Banana Pro into the image generation yet, but you know, maybe on the live stream, what we'll also do is we'll set up some logic for this OS where I know infographics do particularly well on LinkedIn. So we're going to do a Nano Banana Pro infographic based off of the copy. Now, I think what we might have to also do, since it gives us 3 variations, I don't want to burn through credits because it's not the cheapest, right? I wish it was a little bit cheaper. That way we can just run 3 different images per variation. But I think narrowing this down to just 1 post and 1 image, or 1 image that fits all 3 posts, right? So let me actually prep that speech to text prompt since we're waiting for this to do its thing. Hey, Claude, I'd like to add a new automation within the /generate command. As of now, you ask me for a YouTube URL, and then you generate copy for LinkedIn, X, and Substack. And then for Substack, you generate images based off of the copy. What I'd like to do is also incorporate that functionality for LinkedIn, not for X, just LinkedIn. And I want to make sure that the image that's generated is usable across all 3 variations of the post, of the copy, if that's possible. If not, let's just start it with, one post. But I'd like to create an infographic based off of the post for LinkedIn. Let's bake this into our logic, and let's fine tune this. I may also create a skill, because I do believe I have a skill for a creative director for Substack, but I don't have one yet for LinkedIn. But let's incorporate this, and we'll move forward accordingly. All right, so I've prepped the prompt, and I'll come back to Whisperflow and paste that in there after it's done automating here. Hey, Jay Bark, thanks for tuning in. Hey, I appreciate you. Thank you. Thanks for being here. I'm curious, have you used Claude-in-Chrome yet? Today we're experimenting. I was recording a video earlier today, but I ran into some hiccups, so I wanted to kind of just pause. Tomorrow I'm going to come back, re-record 2 long-form videos, but we're testing Claude-in-Chrome right now. And if you've watched some of my past videos, you'll find that I created this repurpose operating system, and I want to automate, rather than having to copy paste the content into Substack, I want to automate having it do that for me. So I've spun up, Chrome within this Claude Code terminal, and it's doing its thing, as you can see, from the terminal. Now it looks like it's trying to open something here, and I'm just going to do it a favor and navigate to, let's see, dev, clear mode, company, repurpose, content, Substack. Hopefully this helps. So I'm going to cancel, but I'm right where it needs to be. But as you can see, it looks like it has way too many spaces. So we have to optimize this. Whoops. See, I accidentally clicked shoot. Yep. That's why you don't click in it. Oops, I accidentally clicked in the browser. Please look back, a few paragraphs, make sure that I didn't mess anything up. Looks like I did. So I'm just letting it know. Oops, I accidentally clicked in the browser. Hey, that's awesome. That's a great background. Yeah, I'm not a coder either, right? I have a background as a computer network engineer. So I work primarily small to mid-sized companies, networks of all sizes, hardware, software, and networking-based repairs and solutions for Windows and Mac OS-based environments. But I do have, an understanding of coding languages. I have built things from scratch in the past, although they took me months and months and months, whereas a full stack developer, it would take, hours or days. But yeah, what we have at our fingertips here is like, if you have an idea and an understanding of how things work, you can build anything. And I love that you're using Claude to make softwares that automate your job. Right? That's one thing I've been doing with the videos here, if you've noticed, is I'm just trying to build things that I would find useful for my workflow, but then, in parallel, that I think that the audience would find useful as well, anybody who comes across the videos. So that's good to hear, man. That's awesome. Yeah, it really is fantastic. All right, let's see. See the issue, text got split up. Let me scroll up to see the full context. Yeah. Whoops. So as I mentioned before, don't click in like the text field. You can click up here to move the window if you need to, but once you click in the kind of like where it's highlighting, just letting you know it's doing its thing, that's where mistakes can be made. And you can scroll. You can see my scroll doesn't affect it. It's doing its thing. Oh, I'll just X out of that untitled window. Don't save. Yeah, I love the skill that I created. These outputs are just so much better. I do have to update it with a new avatar, but that's good enough for now. Yeah, I think what I'll eventually start doing as well is work on a new product. I've been working on a solution, an audit tool that's so close to being launched. I did audit with CodeRabbit, it found some issues, so just going through that. But it is technically soft launched. I'm just not dropping the domain yet. But I think moving forward on this live stream, I think building something in public, right? Building something on a week-to-week basis where I only work on it during live streams, ideally start live streaming a few days a week. That'll be a fun experiment. But I want to make sure it's something useful. So until then, we're just having fun. We're experimenting. Looks like it fixed everything. I'm going to mention that there's like these weird spacings. All right, something to add before you kind of work through the whole article. I noticed there's almost like double spaces between each line, right? It's a bit too much of a gap, essentially, right? So please look into this as you're writing out the rest of the article, please, so that we don't have to go back and redo everything. So as you can see, as it's working, we can prompt it and talk to it. It's noticing, absolutely right. I've been adding too much spacing between paragraphs by pressing return twice. Let me take a screenshot to see the current state and I'll fix the space. So it's been pressing return twice. Why? Why? Why, Claude? Why? Come on now. All right, I'll trust it, but that's something we need to fix. Vibe coding on Thursday. I'm not sure. Thursday's video. Oh, it's letting them know about essentially what I talked about in that video. Okay. Yeah, and I also built my other OS, which I did highlight in a video. Let's open it up, ClearMud OS. This one I have a few commands. I run it every Monday primarily, and then sometimes on Saturdays and Sundays. But if we spin up Claude, you'll see that I have a / live streams. And what it'll do is it'll ask me for a YouTube URL. I paste in these live streams I do. I usually do this into the weekend as it needs a few days. For some reason, Google doesn't make the transcript available immediately, right? Or I guess YouTube. So it needs a few days. until the transcript's available, for live streams at least. And it'll pull the live stream, it'll analyze the entire transcript, and based off of me talking, it will then create timestamps for me. It'll create an optimized metadata description. If you look on past live streams, I've updated them all to date, but that's all automated. It's wonderful. I don't go back and manually write that. It just downloads the transcript, adds in the timestamps of when the conversation changes, what we're working on, and it'll go back to it. So it's pretty sweet. But then I also have a YouTube script command here where, you know, sometimes I have it generate an idea for me. It analyzes a few competitor or inspirational channels that, you know, I look up to, and then it also analyzes ClearMud's channel each time, see what's working, and then it gives us ideas based off of it. It gives me 3 to choose from normally. It does have a phase 0 where it'll do Patty Galloway's approach, where it'll generate 100 different ideas, narrow it down to 10, and then I pick one, and then it creates 3 variations of that one. So pretty nifty. I can do another breakdown if anyone's interested. Just let me know. But okay, upload and insert image. Let me look for the file upload. I see there is an open window. Would you like me to navigate to where the images are? What can help here? Because I notice you're stuck in another directory on my desktop. All right, I'm gonna navigate to it while I paste that prompt in there. And where is Whisperflow? Because let's copy paste that. Okay, let me go to ClearMud or dev, ClearMud, repurpose, content, Substack, and Gemini 3 images. There we go. Yes, perfect. There's a file picker dialog open. Please navigate to and select the file. Okay. Okay, I did that for the hero header. Ready for the next 2. And then just to be proactive, is there a way to automate this? Can you navigate to this directory for me? How can we automate this to where I don't have to go and navigate to where the images are for you? But as you can see here, it did paste it right at the top. Wonderful. And it skipped the title, so a little buggy, but you know, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, we have to fix the formatting here. So I think creating a README for this, you know, anytime we spin up Claude-in-Chrome is going to be crucial. That way it has, you know, a set of instructions rather than making this mistake over and over again each time we do this. But we're just going to wait for it to, let's see. Regarding automation, unfortunately, browser automation tools can't control native file picker dialogues for security reasons. They're system-level dialogues isolated from web content. So manual navigation is necessary for the file uploads. Okay, fair enough, you know, and I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. I understand that we can't fully automate things quite yet, but this is a huge step in the right direction because now I don't have to go in, copy paste, fix the dividers, make sure everything's formatted properly, make sure there's, you know, each section has its formatting in place, which I found tedious in the past. I can just work on something else while this is running and then navigate to where the images are when it asks me. Okay. So it hasn't prompted us yet. Let's just wait for it. Oh, I love that, J-Bar. Ooh, I like that. Look at that. Hey, I'm happy to hear it, you know? I am so happy to hear this. That's like one of my hopes with each and every one of my videos. It's not just copy the video, it's what ideas do you get from the video, right? How can you apply what you just watched or learned into your workflow, into the company you work for or own, or yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, you know, I personally, I'm a big Google advocate. I think they're you know, long term going to win the AI race, but at the same time, Claude has been killing it recently. I've done a comparison video between Gemini 3 Pro. I'm sure you've seen it. I got a lot of feedback saying this was not a fair fight because anti-gravity kept bugging out on me. I'm going to give you a spoiler. I did another round 2 comparison, and I did it both within Cursor's IDE. Sadly, Gemini 3, it may have finished initially quicker, but it was way more bugs. And I'm not going to spoil the winner, but I was still shocked. Like, I use Google AI Studio quite a bit, but it's yeah, I don't know what's going on with it right now with Gemini 3 Pro's model. I'm running into issues, right? But simple tasks, building simple solutions, it works. But when I give it like a comprehensive prompt, like I did in this round 2 demonstration, it, yeah, it missed the beat. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, look at how much time you're saving now that you don't have to like prepare a slideshow or a presentation, right? You can just feed it all of this data and have it build it for you. It's pretty sweet. Oops, I clicked in again. Dang it. Where is it now? Okay. Okay, done. Ready for the last image. Oh, I never hit enter. Doi. Yeah, I have a round 2. Yeah, it's I enjoyed making the video. I like making these comparisons. The round 2, I essentially rebuilt Clear Kanban again, and I'm in love. I'll give you a little sneak peek actually of what it looks like. Let's see, round 2. We'll go to Opus, and and we'll just set up preview on port 9995. But I'm really loving, like, I think I'm going to work off of this one now moving forward. But then again, you know, by the end of you'll learn in this round 2 video, there's going to be a round 3. There has to be. I have to give it a third, you know, one last chance. Okay, let's get ready. Let's go to another window here. And I just fell in love with the layout. So this is like Opus one-shot this essentially. See, let me make sure. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong screen. Yeah, it essentially one-shot this. It was pretty impressive. Right, has the Kanban board view, has the calendar view. You can add a video. I'm just gonna leave it at that. As you move it, right, it updates. It went very comprehensive with all this metadata. It kind of overkilled it for me personally, but I'll simplify this. Maybe make it a dropout to the right. Title alternatives, tags, due date. So I just go press the second, and then we go to the calendar. It shows here. And then that also changes color, like based off of where we're at. So let's say we go to schedule, go back, it changes it to green. I mean, it one-shot everything. It was amazing. It was amazing. And I also have this customizable, it doesn't work on board, so it almost one-shot. But we can add text block here, to-do list, notepad, right? And then you can drag and drop these fields, reorganize them. I like having like a manifesto on top of each project page within my Notion dashboard right now. So yeah, I mean, I was just amazed. So now I want to improve like the styling. We'll do that in round 3, I think. But yeah, super fun. Opus really killed it there. All right, so last diagram here. Let's open that. Make sure I don't click in the text field. Hey, I love that. Keep building, man. Keep building. Like, build something for everything. Even though you may not use it long term, it's great experience. And who knows, you might eventually come up with an idea where you create an entire, CRM with each of your web apps incorporated into it, right? Create that type of parent hierarchy where you have your main interface, and then you have the option to create these projects within your interface that will automatically update into whether your vertical tab menu or a horizontal header tab menu. I think that would be as simple as just talking to Claude or Google AI Studio and saying, hey, I want to incorporate multiple projects into one. What's the best practice? Do I just drag and drop each project directory into one directory? And then can we create like a parent interface that then allows us to tab over in between, in each like web app? Might be possible. I haven't tried something like that yet, but all right, let's see. Perfect. All right, done. Proceed. Yeah, I feel like that would be very involved, right? You might run into a lot of bugs, but like creating something from its foundation of like letting it know like, hey, I want this to be, the main interface, but I want the flexibility of creating multiple web apps within it. What's the best approach? What's the tech stack we should incorporate? Things like this, so. All right, now we got to fix this spacing here. Okay, it's previewing and verify all formatting. So actually, formatting looks good on mobile. Wow, okay. It doesn't look too spaced out. It did miss the title though. Yeah, this is, oh, it messed up right there, but that's okay. Okay, I'm noticing the title is missing, and there might be one divider that wasn't properly formatted, but everything else looks great, especially on the mobile view. I'll let you know how it looks back on the desktop view once you switch the view. And I'm just gonna prompt in there while it's working. Problem right now is that all this mini software build depends on exports from other software my company uses. So I start the day and take maybe 30 minutes just exporting stuff from other software. Yeah, I'm trying to think, how can you automate that? I think maybe the best way to automate, right? I'm not sure if you can automate an export from, I doubt you can, right? Maybe that's one of the kind of tedious things right now, but maybe you can create you know, a shared network drive, if this is one of those infrastructures or just a folder on the computer, that each application references on startup each time you load it, or maybe it refreshes every 5 to 10 minutes, that you would have to go into each application, talk to it and say, whether it's, hey Google or hey Claude, hey, I'd like to bake this into our logic, into our README. Every time this app refreshes or every time we spin up a fresh, you know, version of this app, please reference this directory, right? You would have to give it access to that directory. But then in theory, right, maybe each time, and you can set an interval of a refresh rate where it will reference that folder that you have to manually export to. That way you don't have to like manually integrate each one. It's baked into its logic of like each time it loads, or maybe it has, you know, an interval of refresh rate where it goes to that folder that you export that data. That's one thought I have initially. I'm sure I'll have other thoughts with more time, but maybe try that. It is moving along. So it still has a little too much spacing for my liking on desktop, but I mean, I can't be picky. I'm going to talk to it and figure out why once it fixes the title. Let me see where that. Actually, it actually looks like maybe it was just on mobile. Looks like all the dividers are working. Yeah, all the dividers appear to be working. Interesting. Okay, looks like it gave it the title, hero image, wonderful. I mean, most people are using Substack mobilely, I think, as well. I love it. So I just have one note. I'm noticing when we toggle over to mobile view, the spacing looks perfect. But on desktop, I can't help but notice in between each line, it still looks like there's double spacing. Is there an easy way to fix this? And then also keep in mind everything you've done here. I'd like to incorporate it into our README with a new / command. Call it / automate - Substack, where it will do everything we did in this session. It will spin up Claude-in-Chrome. It will navigate to Substack. It will, you know, copy over all of the relevant information on the most recent output, right? Maybe it's something you need to ask, which article are we posting for this command? But I want to automate this, but first let's fix the spacing and then go there. So I love talking to it just in plain text. And let's see what happens here. Good catch. Let me fix the spacing issue. The double return presses I used are creating extra spacing on desktop. Let me look at the content and fix it. Cool. I mean, I've already asked it before. And then I think we should also incorporate a link to the YouTube video. Yeah, you know, done is better than perfect in this case, so let's make sure that in future, you know, automations that it's the single enter, not double enter. And then I think while we're at it, make sure that our /generate command, we need to add in logic for the Substack output to make sure we copy paste the YouTube URL that we're analyzing and put it at the footer so that should the person who views all the way to the end of that article, they want to watch the full YouTube video that we're referencing, there's a link to it in the main post. I think that's something very critical to add to our workflow as well before you start building the automate Substack script. Okay, great. So look at that. I mean, spacing's not perfect, but I'm just gonna roll with it, right? Done is better than perfect here. Oh, it looks like it did. I did mess up here. Let's see. I think what I'm gonna do. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. And we're going to hit continue. This is something we should add to our Claude. Claude Opus 4.5. Opus 4.5, Gemini 3 Pro, Gemini, whoops, Google AI, AI tools, AI automation, okay, and I think that's good enough for now. Oh, let's add subscribe buttons. Continue. Send to everyone now. And voila. So a lot of hand holding at first, but that's okay. That is okay. Okay, looks like it's going to update all that for us. Okay, it is. I need to understand where the YouTube is stored in your. Oh, I paste it in there. So I generally run / generate space, and then I paste in the YouTube URL. So let's go look at all our published posts. I mean, this is great. I need to have definitely more of a frequency here. And I think honestly, you know, live streaming another day of the week where one live stream is internal stuff that we just build live, right? We run through our normal checklist live, and then another one's something where we build. I don't know. I'm just kind of shooting from the hip here with these live streams. I enjoy it. The format's nice. I can get cozy, wear a jacket because it doesn't get cold here in the winter. Nice. So it's updating the skill for us. I'm actually curious, how much usage have we used? Okay. We would have maxed out if we didn't have double. I'm bummed I didn't use it all this week, but I'm going to keep Claude coding it up until the end of the day as well. And we're moving along. So as soon as this is done updating, it's going to then create, oh, it's already creating our automate Substack, which is going to be a new command that we're going to run. Let's go check Claude commands. So it hasn't created that yet. Looks like it's actually creating an automate Substack skill. Interesting. I'll let it work. Wonderful. And then next up, we're gonna test a Nano Banana Pro with LinkedIn outputs. And then we're gonna do a LinkedIn automation as well. See how it works. I think once it gets to the point where we can give it access to the specific folder, I don't like how I have to manually navigate to the image folder for it, but created automate Substack skill. Okay. Complete browser automation, step by step. Awesome, thank you. So next up, and then let me go and grab that old. For Substack you did, but I don't have one for LinkedIn yet. Okay, this is the one. Bam, I'm gonna paste that text in there. And as you can see here, now since we have the image generation dialed in for Substack, I want to do it now for our LinkedIn copy, right? So what we're gonna do is now incorporate that into our flow, and then we're gonna work on, I think, generating a new Substack post, just a new kind of like automation post on our most recent video that just dropped. Why isn't it showing up? Oh, it's Gemini 3. In this video, Gemini 3 Flash. I really loved making this video. I was shocked by its output. It did a great job. But I think copy pasting this, and then we'll generate, you know, a new just suite of outputs from LinkedIn, Substack, and X once the image generation's in place for infographics. Nice, so it's gonna create a LinkedIn Creative Director skill. I hope you're referencing our Substack Creative Director skill. Actually, never mind. I'm just gonna trust that it's gonna do the right thing. Continue. Let's also go to LinkedIn, make sure we're logged in. Yes, we are. And I'm curious, do I actually? I think that actually is the live version. Okay, great. Yeah, it is. Yep. 5 Nano, update model, home. And just to stop you there, is it going to be creating 3 variations for each post variation, or are we going to create one piece of creative that's applicable across each of the post variations in copy? Oh, looks like we need to fix that on the extension that we built. Yeah, why not? Love it. Okay. Good question. I designed it to create one infographic that works across all three. 3 text variations, 1 universal visual that complements all 3 posts. The thinking is the infographic focuses on the core data framework visual from the video. Keep it as is. That sounds great. I just wanted to clarify. Thank you. Wonderful. Now, I would like that skill to be invoked when we run the /generate command, right? I want this to be all automated to where when it's going through its workflow of generating the copy for LinkedIn, it also generates this one infographic as well. Is that possible? I'm just going to paste that in there because it's letting me know we can invoke it independently, but I want it to be all automated, right? I want it to all happen off of one command. Oh, it's already there. Okay. I spoke too soon. It's on its second to-do list. Yes, continue. I was just clarifying. Thank you. All right. Nice. So we have the link ready, and now we're just waiting. Whoops. There we go. Okay, everything's automated. Wonderful. So just good practice. I'm just gonna spin up a new session. Let's copy paste our most recent video. Let's type in generate, and I'm gonna give it that YouTube URL, and it's gonna get to work. So now you get to see how this operating system works. Wonderful. And I'm gonna hit auto accept edits on. And let's open up our Obsidian window because I like previewing it here. There we go. We're just gonna sit and wait here. All right, setting up the folder structure. And we should see real time on the left as it sets up. I'll probably do research first. Oops. As you can see here, real time, it created that folder. Can you build a website with Google? 045 for 45 cents. That's funny. Yeah, it grabs the title word for word almost all the title. Just enough for you to understand what the folder's for. So I'll hide the research and I'll expand each one so we can see everything being built real time. And I'll X that out until we're ready for. Unknown skill. Let me read the skill file to understand its structure. All right, look at that. It's creating. Curious to see how it's going to do this. Infographic prompts. Okay. Looks like it did. So it's just making the infographic prompts, but maybe it's going to generate everything at the end. So we'll wait and see what happens here. Okay. Okay, yeah, it looks like it's generating everything at the very end. Okay. Okay, looks like it's preparing the images. Okay, not bad. Definitely needs some work on its logic, and then we need to give it a logo for it to use. So, but not mad at it. Oh, you know, it's not the page itself, but it's a very appealing header. Wow. I like that a lot. Yeah, so the Substack image generation is dialed in quite a bit. And maybe this was a bad video to give, you know, this infographic prompt to, right? So this is something I'll be fine tuning moving forward, but for now, I'm going to keep it as is, and we're going to upload some like brand images just for the ClearMud logo part. All right, where do I give you brand assets? I think I already gave you a few, but I want to add our new YouTube profile avatar for you to use as our logo. And then I'm also going to give you ClearMud's logo for the website. what's best practices here? Do you think we should just focus on using our YouTube avatar with the clear mud branding, or use our logo? Because I noticed the logo that you use for that infographic, it's not our actual logo. Yeah, so let's go look at the diagrams as well. Yeah, it built us a chatbot without us even asking. It's really awesome. And look at these outputs. They're amazing. They do such a great job. Oh my goodness. So I think it would be brand, avatars. Yeah. Okay. I need to optimize the brand section. Scratch that. I'm going to do this in another session. I want to make sure I have all the assets ready for you. Scratch that. I'm going to update the brand directory in another session. I want to make sure I have all the assets ready when we're ready to do so. All right. Solid. So as much as I want to keep running, I need to have some dinner. So we're going to save the rest for next week into the new year. So I'd like to thank everybody for tuning into this live stream, watching this recording. I hope you found some value in it. I hope your brain is turning with ideas on how to incorporate what I've been demoing and experimenting with here on the live stream into your daily workflow. So drop a comment below. Let me know if you have any questions. If you want to see me make a long form video about something specific, I'd be happy to spin one up for you. So happy new year. Wishing everybody a great year ahead with success and good health. And